The Megalodon and cults are topics you guys are interested in right now, so hey, why not combine it? Or try to combine it, that is. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I'm your host Emily, and today we're counting down our list of the top 10 real cults that worship the Megalodon, or just other animals, so bear with me. Number 10. Sharks. In the Marshall Islands, tribes had their own sacred sharks, and if someone showed disrespect to another tribe's shark, they would need to apologize or go to war. Yep, that's how serious they were with all of this. Now the Hawaiians had some more complex mythology about the animals, as they worshipped the sharks as gods, and had 9 named shark gods. Perhaps the most notable were the Ka'ahapaho and her brother Kahihoka. Both were once human, and the woman goddess was known for living near what is now Pearl Harbor. In one Hawaiian story, she ordered a local girl to be kidnapped and die after the girl demanded the lei that was being offered to the goddess. But when she realized that the girl actually did die, she regretted her rash order and insisted that sharks should never attack humans in the Pearl Harbor region. Now similarly, the Solomon Islanders believed in good sharks that help protect fishermen and swimmers. One Australian Aboriginal group called the Songlines believed in a shark called the Banguda. They believed that the rocks at the nearby Chasm Island are reddish because Banguda attacked another mystical being, a creature that was half dolphin and half man. Now was this big shark the Megalodon though? Maybe. Just maybe. Number 9. Horse. Horse worship has been practiced by a number of Indo-European and Turkic peoples. In the nomadic tradition, the horse is one of the mythological animals, embodying the connection with the other world, with the supernatural. The horse, exceptionally white, has always been associated with the sun, the daytime clarity, with fire, air, sky, water, and solar heroes, as an expression of good human aspirations and daily work and struggle against difficulties. Now the white sun horse is an attribute of divine forces that are constantly fighting against evil and in opposition to death. Now in the beliefs and rites of the nomads, first the horse itself, second its separate parts, the skull, the cervical vertebrae, skin, hair, and third objects associated with it, bridle, clamp, sweat, reins, whip, fallen horseshoe, image, etc., act as the patroness and protector of people. Now the horse is seen to have the ability to drive out evil forces from the human body. A bronze top with the image of a horse was found in the Fergana Valley in the early 20th century, the only one found so far in Eurasian steppes. It was dated to the period between the 4th and 1st century BC and was claimed to have been used in rituals dedicated to the cult of heavenly horses. Number 8. Dogs. Dogs have a major religious significance among the Hindus in Nepal and some parts of India. The dogs are worshipped as part of a 5-day Tihar festival that falls roughly in November every year. In Hinduism, it is believed that the dog is a messenger of Yama, the god of death, and dogs guard the doors of heaven. Socially, they're believed to be the protectors of our homes and lives. So in order to please the dogs that they are going to meet at heaven's doors after death, so they would be allowed in heaven, people mark the 14th day of the lunar cycle in November as Kukur Tihar, as known as the Nepali language for the dog's day. Now this is a day when the dog is worshipped by applying tika, a holy vermilion dot, incense sticks, and garland, generally with marigold flowers. The Nusari of Western Asia are also said to worship a dog. The Kerang of Java had a cult of red dog, with each family keeping one in the house. According to one authority, the dogs are images of wood that are worshipped after the death of a family member of the family and burnt after 1,000 days. Now in Nepal, it is said that dogs are worshipped at a festival called Kitcha Puja. Number 7. Cattle. The ancient Egyptians worshipped a great number of deities who were either depicted entirely as cattle or incorporated cattle features in their appearance. Now, as well as female cow goddesses, the Egyptians also had a number of male bull gods. Conspicuous among these was the bull god Apis, who was embodied in a living bull but kept at the temple of Ptah at Memphis. Regarded as Ptah's herald, the Apis bull was distinguished by certain marks, and when the old bull died, a new one was sought. The finder was rewarded, and the bull underwent 4 months education at Nilopolis. Now its birthday was celebrated once a year when oxen, which had to be pure white, were sacrificed to it. Women were forbidden to approach it once its education was finished, and oracles were obtained from it in various ways, and after its death it was mummified and buried in a rock tomb. Number 6. Elephants. In Thailand, it is believed that a white elephant may contain the soul of a dead person, perhaps a Buddha. When one is taken, the capturer is rewarded and the animal is brought to the king to be kept forever afterward. It cannot be bought or sold, and it is baptized, honored, and mourned like a human being at its death. Now, in some parts of Indochina, the belief is that the soul of the elephant may injure people after death, and is therefore honored and celebrated by a whole village. In Cambodia, it is held to bring luck to the kingdom, and the cult of the white elephant is also found at an area in southern Ethiopia. In India, the popular Hindu god Ganesha, it has a head of an elephant and a torso of a human. In Surat, unmarried Annaville girls participate in a holiday referred to as Elum, and this holiday is to honor the goddess Pavarti. During the celebration, a clay elephant is prepared, and every day unmarried women worship this elephant by dancing, singing songs, and abstaining from eating salt. Now, on the final day of the holiday, the clay elephant is immersed in a body of water. Now, it seems like elephants have a real special place. Number 5. Leopard. The cult of the leopard is widely found in West Africa. Among the Ashani people, a man who ends the life of one is liable and put to death. Now, they take this all very seriously. In fact, no leopard skin may be exposed to view, but a stuffed leopard is worshipped. On the Gold Coast, a leopard hunter who has ended the life of his victim is carried around town behind the body of the leopard, and he may not speak, must besmear himself as to look like a leopard and imitate its movements. In Longo, a prince's cap is put upon the head of a dead leopard and dances are held in its honor. Number 4. Hawks. North Borneo treated the hawk as a god, but it was technically the messenger of the people's supreme god. Now, there were rituals that involved the hawk when the natives wished to make decisions about certain events, such as journeys from home, major agricultural work, and war. The North Boro we seem to see in the evolution of a god in the 3 stages of the cult of the hawk among the Kenyas, the Kenyans, and the Sea Dax. The Kenyas will not end the life of the bird, address it thanks for assistance, and formally consult it before leaving home on an expedition. It seems, however, to be regarded as a messenger of the supreme god Bali Penelong. The Kayans have a hawk of god, Laki Neo, but seem to regard the hawk as a servant of the chief god, Laki Tenagang. Singalong Burlong, the hawk god of the Dax, is completely anthropomorphized. He is the god of omens and the ruler of omen birds, but the hawk is not his messenger, for he never leaves his house. Now, stories are, however, told of his attending feasts in human form and flying away in hawk form when all was over. Number 3. Frigatebird. On Easter Island in the 1860s, there was a Tangata Manu birdman cult which has left us paintings and petroglyphs of birdmen, half fright birds. The cult involved an annual race to collect the first sooty tern egg of the season from the isla of Moto Iti and take it to Orongo. Now, in Rapa Nui mythology, the deity Make was a chief god of the birdman cult, and other 3 deities associated with it were Hawatu Taki, the chief of the eggs, a male god, his wife Via Hoa, and another female deity named V Kanati. Now, each of these 4 also had a servant god who was associated with them, and the names of all 8 would be chanted by contestants during the various rituals preceding the egg hunt. Number 2. Serpents. The worship of the serpent is found in many parts of the old world and in the Americas. The Indian snake worship refers to the high status of snakes in Hindu mythology. Over a large part of India, there are carved representations of cobras or stones as substitutes. To these people, food and flowers are offered and lights are burned before the shrines. Among the Dravidians, a cobra that accidentally dies is burned like a human being, as no one would end its life intentionally. Now, the serpent, God's image, is carried in an annual procession by a celibate priestess. At one time, there were many prevalent different renditions of the serpent cult located in India. In northern India, a masculine version of the serpent named Nagaraja, known as the king of the serpents, was worshipped. Instead of the king of the serpents, actual live snakes were being worshipped in South India. The Mensa cult in Bengal, India, however, was dedicated to the anthropomorphic serpent goddess Manasta. And coming in at number 1 is whales. Whales were little understood for most of human history, as they spent up to 90% of their lives underwater, only surfacing briefly to breathe. Now, many cultures, even those that have hunted them, hold whales in awe and feature them in their mythologies. A prevalent whale cult in Japan occurs around the coastal area. There are cemeteries with memorial stones dedicated to the whales which were hunted to feed on. The Buddhist effates mark these stones, which implore that Buddha is reborn as a whale. Along with these memorials, there is evidence that whale embryos embryos found in deceased mothers' wombs were extracted and buried with the same respect as a human being. Now, for certain shrines, the bones of the perished whale were also deposed in the area. They respect these animals greatly. Well, that's all for our list of the top 10 real cults that worship the Megalodon and other animals. Did any animal on our list shock you? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm your host Emily, and we'll see you next time. Peace.